Good morning everybody, and welcome back to the Midnight Paint and Body channel. In this video, we're going to be working on a return customer. So you might have seen the original video on this car. I fixed this quarter panel, which was absolutely hammered. It was a really nasty repair. It's a friend's car. It's his to and from work beater. So we just repaired it rather than replacing the entire quarter panel. And literally the day he picked it up, it got hit again. So clearly it's been quite a while. I think that was in the fall. We're into, I think we're April 11th now, so we're finally getting some spring around here. So we're going to be repairing this again. We'll get in and have a look, and yeah, it just kind of gives you an idea how things hold up and don't hold up. There's a piece of the bumper retainer. So, I mean, yes, we did use a fair bit of body filler in this one, but that's just the nature of the beast sometimes. So yeah, we'll hold on to that. So we have that. And then because apparently this is a cursed car, and so a few days later somebody clipped it in a parking lot coming around and busted off the corner of the bumper cover. So we're going to be fixing that too. So I figured I'd bring you guys along. We'll just kind of, I don't know, thought it might be interesting for you guys to see how this type of a repair holds up. Now, obviously, cracked body filler, that's why people are always like, oh, I don't want any Bondo in my car because it cracks. Well, it doesn't typically crack on its own unless you did a really crappy job. In a case like this, the thing got whacked pretty good again. You can see it's, yeah, buckled it out here. So, yeah, got hit from the back, whacked it pretty good. So, let's get her washed up, get it inside, and see what we're working with. Well, let's have another look now that it's cleaned up. So, I mean, the damage on the quarter panel is pretty obvious. So, we're gonna have to get that filler stripped back out. And turns out that actually both doors are dented. So, yeah, this one too. You can feel where it's all been pushed up against the anti-intrusion beam inside the door, and it's wrinkled up the panel. And actually the fender is dented too. And we need a mirror, but we knew that. So I'm going to start stripping down the back end, get the bumper cover, tail light and stuff out. I'm going to have to get hold of the customer and see how far we want to go on this thing. But for now, we'll start with this. I'll get it ripped down, and then we'll come back. All right, well, you can see where, I mean, obviously it got hit, so the moisture was getting underneath, so their panels rusted a little bit. We're going to need to grind all of this out because moisture will have gotten in there, and we'll have rust in behind as well. So, basically I'm just going to grind out this old filler, and then we're basically just going to be doing it all over again. So, as you can see now, I mean, this was my repair, so I knew it was full body filler. That was what we did at the time. It was either that or put a quarter panel on the car, which, you know, as I think I explained in the last video, it's a really big job on one of these. And, you know, customer was just paying for it, so we're just keeping it simple, getting it back on the road. Now we're just doing it all over again. So, let's get grinding. So we've got everything cleaned up and blown down, so now I'm just going to put some of this Duraglass filler back on just where the metal's been worked like I did the first time. So we're just kind of redoing the first repair. And then we'll smooth this off and finish with some actual body filler. Now, if you're an actual body man watching this, I'm sorry. But you know you've done repairs like this. It's not a bad repair. It's just not the best repair in a case like this. Initially, this car should have had a quarter panel to do it right. You know, if it was like insurance paying for it or something, then it certainly would have gone that way. Customer was paying for it himself, so we opted to just repair it. Now, of course, put a quarter panel on, then you're into gutting the whole interior, glass, door. You know, it's a big, big job. Not that that's the end of the world, but sometimes too you need to weigh the options. I mean, is it worth putting that kind of money into a 2015 Ford Focus? Where I will have absolutely no problem guaranteeing this repair for as long as this guy owns his car. Alright, so we'll let that cure and we'll come back in a bit. Okay, so we're moving on. We're going to rough out this fiberglass filler on the quarter panel. Talk to the customer. We're going to go ahead and fix the dents in the doors. So I'm just going to knock this off with the 8-inch mud buster. And we'll move on to some body filler. So we're ready for a little body filler now. This part's very straightforward. Right, so while the body filler was drying, I just went ahead and pulled the door handles, belt moldings off the doors. So now we're just going to start knocking filler down. So before we carry on with what we got going on here, I just want to take a quick minute to thank everyone who has been supporting the channel and who has subscribed to the channel. Thought I heard the door. So a couple days ago, the channel reached the 1,000 subscriber mark, so that's super exciting. So what that means for me, At 1,000 subscribers, you can get your YouTube channel monetized, where there is a small potential for a little extra revenue. For someone like me, I mean, with 1,000 subscribers, it's probably going to be like $6 a month or something. It's a very small amount, but there is a potential for a little extra revenue. So you may be surprised to hear this, but you don't get rich doing auto body out of your home shop. I do okay. I make a living, but I mean, if there's an opportunity there to make a couple of bucks and, you know, maybe make things just a little bit easier, I'm going to go for it. What it means for you guys is that you're going to probably start seeing those annoying ads pop up in my videos. So just keep that in mind, that, you know, it's just one of those things. I mean, you know, as I say, self-employed, you know, there's no paid days off, there's no benefits, there's, yeah, pretty much just work. But I'm not complaining. That's what I chose. I'm good with that, and I enjoy it. But anyway, thanks for listening to that. Let's get back to the car. So I am done with the body work, so I'm ready to start masking it up for primer. I didn't get into a lot of this as usual. It's just, you know, there's probably videos on doing body filler and stuff, and if it's something that you would like to see, let me know, and I can do something like that too. Just with doing body work, with body filler, the biggest thing, and I can't stress this enough, if you can feel it, you are going to see it. You don't want to go leaving it rough thinking, okay, well, I'll just put primer on it and block it out, then it'll be good. You need to have your body work good before you prime it. So, yeah, we are ready for primer. Everybody is different. Body men are all different. I've been in this trade over 30 years now. The way I learned to do body work was to never have your body filler touching your paint. The idea kind of behind that is you're going to have that nice barrier of your etch primer or your epoxy primer before you put your high build primer on. In my experience, if your body filler is onto your paint, that's where, you know, a couple of months or a year down the road, you're going to start seeing that shrinkage, and you're going to see a ring around your repair. You know, stuff's going to start showing back up. Now, that being said too, like I said, I've been in this trade a long time. Materials change, products change, techniques change. So I do see a lot of guys that'll use like a glazing putty and go right over the edge of the paint. I'm not saying right or wrong, do it this way or that way. I'm not saying I'm the expert. I'm just saying that's the way I do it. So if you're wondering, you know, with what you're seeing, just if you're curious about the way I do body filler, body work, that's what I do. That's why I do it. And yeah, it works for me. Might not work for you. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing what I do. Anyway, guys, I'm going to mask this up for some primer. Next time you see it, we'll be spraying some epoxy primer and then some high build urethane primer over the repairs. From picking up freight, so we got our front bumper covered for the Focus. Over valence. So I'm just going to show you guys something on these parts. So, I mean, obviously, bumper cover is pretty straightforward. So with all of these parts, any of this aftermarket stuff that you get, my recommendation is to always pay a little more, get the Kappa certified parts. I don't even know what Kappa stands for, but I know these parts fit very well. If you buy the cheapest parts you can get, they typically are going to fight you with fit issues. These parts are always good, in my experience, and like I've said before, I've been in this trade a long time. I've used a lot of these parts. So that's just my recommendation to you. So here's a quick end of the day check-in. Got this little Hot Wheels pretty much prepped up, ready to paint, except I'm waiting for a new rear bumper cover retainer from Ford. That should be here tomorrow, but I can't do a proper test fit of the rear bumper cover against this repaired quarter panel until I have it. So I gotta wait for that, because I may need to, when you've done a repair like this, you just need to be absolutely sure that you're gonna have a perfect fit. Now, I was able to hold this bumper cover up there, and it does look good. It's like I'm 95% sure to be fine, but really sucks to paint something and then have to sand it down a little bit more. So wait for that tomorrow. Bring you guys back in for a look once I do the final fitting and we get her masked up for paint. Okay, it is the next day again. So I got the rear bumper retainer. So you can see we have a nice fit of the rear bumper. I did have to do a little extra blocking to get it just so. So that's what I was waiting for. Look at that, car's rolling away on me. Well, ghosts. So I'm ready now to get her masked up, and we're gonna get some paint on it. It's getting a little late in the day, but I'm kind of having one of those days like Limp Bizkit sang about. If you get that reference, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get masking. So there is the car all washed down, ready to paint. So, pretty straightforward masking on this one. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give this new bumper cover a coat of a urethane sealer, and then everything will get probably 3 coats of white base coat. So in this case, it's the Ford code YZ. So yeah, 3 coats coat of sealer, probably 3 coats of base, and then 2 coats of clear coat. I am not going to bother recording that. I've done painting videos before. So when you guys see this next, it's going to be shiny. And there she is. Just like that. So she's all painted up. 3 coats of base, couple coats of clear. We'll let it clear out in here, let her sit overnight. We'll come back tomorrow and put her all back together. So here she is, all assembled, ready for the customer. So it all came out pretty good. If you remember from the start, we had dents all the way down the doors, quarter panel. Still waiting on a side view mirror. I was hoping it would be here today, coming from a recycler in Vancouver, but yeah, I guess probably next week. And then, of course, we changed the front bumper cover, so that's all done. So just a straightforward repair, guys. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to learn anything from it, but just one of those things where I said in the initial video when I repaired this the first time, I mean, obviously that's not the very best repair. You know, the best repair would have been replacing a quarter panel. But at that point, putting a quarter panel on this car, you know, that repair may very well have exceeded the car's value. So what we did is a fine repair. It's going to last. I'm going to warranty it. It keeps it cost effective for the customer. So just one of those things. You know, everything has a budget, I guess you'd say. So in this case, that's the repair we're doing. It worked out just great. Car is going to be good for a bunch of years to come. And as always, guys, if there is anything in this process of doing this kind of stuff you'd like to see more of, less of, any particular thing, let me know. I'll do my best to bring it out in a video. Let me know in the comments in the video, and anything at all. The comments in the videos are good. I like seeing them, and they help the videos as well to get out there. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.